Genya woke up every morning under a patchwork of dirty blankets and cardboard. These flimsy items were her only shield against the cold, merciless winds that swept through the city streets. Life had been unforgiving, leaving her no choice but to adapt to the harsh realities of homelessness. She often stared at the cloudy sky, trying to piece together how her life had unraveled so completely. Her mind was a blur of fragmented memories, shadows of a life that once was. But amid the confusion, one constant remained: her undying love for her son, Maxim. It was this love that kept her alive, pushing her to face each new day. Maxim was her everything, a bright, curious boy who had learned to adapt to the struggles of life on the streets far too young. Despite his innocence, Maxim's resilience inspired Genya. She saw in him a spark of hope, a reason to fight against the odds. Every night, she would cradle him in her arms, singing lullabies that spoke of dreams and brighter tomorrows. The melodies were simple, but their message was profound. Even in the darkest times, there is room for hope. Every morning, Genya forced herself to her feet, fighting the exhaustion that weighed her down like a heavy chain. Her body ached from sleeping on the hard pavement, but the hunger in Maxim's eyes gave her strength. The streets became her battlefield, each day a relentless search for food and necessities. Most days, her efforts ended in frustration: locked dumpsters, disinterested strangers, and empty pockets. Yet, no matter how many times life knocked her down, Genya refused to give up. Her resolve was unshakable, driven by the belief that better days lay ahead. Genya had one gift that poverty couldn't take from her: her voice. Her singing had always been her refuge, a place where she could express the emotions too heavy to bear in silence. On particularly desperate days, she would find a quiet corner on the street and sing. Her voice was a blend of sorrow and hope, carrying the weight of her struggles while offering a glimpse of light. People passing by often stopped, captivated by the raw emotion in her songs. Sometimes they would leave her a few coins, a small but significant gesture that meant Maxim would eat that day. One day, Genya decided to perform in the bustling city square. It was a place teeming with life, where strangers crossed paths without sparing a glance at one another. As she began to sing, the noise of the crowd gradually faded. Her voice rose above the chatter, weaving a spell that silenced the busy square. Each note carried a story, a plea, and a promise, touching the hearts of everyone who stopped to listen. For Genya, the realization was profound. Her voice could do more than soothe her pain. It could change her circumstances. The coins and bills left in her hat felt like a lifeline, a step toward providing for Maxim in ways she hadn't dared to dream. Her singing became more than a survival tool. It became a symbol of resilience and hope. Among the crowd stood Artem, a man whose life had been shadowed by loss. A successful businessman who owned a chain of musical instrument stores. Artem was no stranger to the city's busy streets. But that day, as he listened to Genya sing, something stirred deep within him. Her voice was achingly familiar, awakening memories he had long buried. He couldn't shake the feeling that he had heard this song before, during the happiest moments of his life. Years ago, Artem's wife, Genya, had disappeared without a trace. The loss had left a void in his heart, but he had never stopped searching for her. Now, as her voice reached him through the crowd, hope surged within him. Could it really be her? When Genya finished her song, Artem approached her with a mixture of fear and excitement. "Genya," he whispered, his voice trembling. She turned to face him, her expression one of confusion and caution. But as their eyes met, recognition flickered between them. Memories flooded Genya's mind. The warmth of Artem's embrace, the laughter they had shared, and the dreams they had once built together. Tears streamed down her face as she realized the man before her was her husband, the one she had thought lost forever. Artem enveloped her in a hug, his own tears mingling with hers. For a moment, the chaos of the world around them disappeared, replaced by the overwhelming joy of reunion. Maxim, clutching his mother's hand, watched the scene unfold with wide eyes. Artem knelt down to meet him, his voice gentle as he introduced himself as Maxim's father. Though the words were unfamiliar, Maxim felt an undeniable warmth and safety in Artem's presence. Artem brought Zhenya and Maxim home, to the house they had once shared. The house, though filled with memories of happier times, had stood empty for years. Now, it became a place of healing and renewal. For Zhenya, adjusting to this new life was a journey in itself. The trauma of the streets didn't vanish overnight, but with Artem's patience and love, she began to rebuild herself. Maxim thrived in his new environment, surrounded by the love and stability he had never known. Artem and Zhenya poured their energy into giving him a childhood filled with joy, education, and opportunities. Together, they rediscovered the strength of their bond, proving that even the deepest scars could heal with time and love. Zhenya's singing, once a desperate act of survival, became a beacon of hope. She shared her story through her songs, inspiring others to believe in the power of resilience and love. Her voice, which had once echoed in the empty streets, now filled concert halls and community gatherings, touching countless lives. Their journey wasn't easy, but it was a testament to the human spirit's capacity to overcome. Zhenya's story taught others to never lose hope, even in the darkest times. It reminded people that love, determination, and faith could turn even the most hopeless situations into stories of triumph. Every day in their home began with laughter and ended with Zhenya's songs. The walls that had once echoed with silence were now filled with music and joy. Their family was whole again, stronger than ever, and their story became a symbol of the power of perseverance. The lesson from their journey is clear. Life may throw challenges that seem insurmountable, but with love, resilience, and unwavering faith, even the hardest battles can be won. Zhenya's story is a reminder that no matter how far we fall, the strength to rise lies within us all.